want to see some different looks in terms of the starters.
Well, one of those new guys in the lineup, Waka inside, will be at the 4 position is Brayden Burries, the freshman, scores.
Yeah, and that's what he does. Brayden Burries, a prolific high school scorer, a guy that we look to maybe lead a little bit this year in terms of that category, starts with a bucket early on.
There's that lineup for the Golden Eagles, and look for J.C. Candle and people.
A little different tonight.
A little different than McHale Center. And Reg, you remember as a player, when you had opponents come in here early, what'd you try to do, kind of get them off, still able to get it? Back out to Waka. Interesting, Waka this year playing a lot of 4, played a lot of 5 last year. I think back to a little more natural buckets and tie this thing 6-6. I think if you're Ben Tucker, the former Arizona manager, there's Coach Tuck right there. You actually coached with him, Reg. One of his years here in Tucson is Del Orso hits that little baseline check.
Yeah, well Coach, Tucker did an excellent job so far at Embry-Riddle, and just having these guys playing with a lot of confidence. You see there's no hesitation as Peter Dress knocks down the 3, and that's what he does. He's a 3-point specialist. Last game had 4 for 7, 30 points, so you got to put a hand in his face.
Yeah, Peter Dress, last game we mentioned their game against Justice University. Dress had 30 in that game, actually 4 for 7 from 3. What'd you see here, Reg?
He got his feet set, but really no hesitation. Embry-Riddle came out to play. Give them credit. No hesitation. I think they figured out. I don't think we're going to beat them on 2s, but if we get enough 3s and get enough good 3s, that we have a chance to be competitive.
Now Brayden Burries at the line. McDonald's All-American, and what a player he has been early so far. You see the talent. I walked by him before the game, Reg, and I was really surprised at how big he is for a 2-guard. Just how thick he was, the weight program already hitting him, and just seems ready for here. About 215 miles from Tucson. Took the bus down last night. Reggie and I went to practice, and I was impressed with Coach Tucker and his practice.
To learn, and he's done that. He's really put himself in good position. His team runs good stuff. Last night, he had an excellent practice with energy, and you can see he was pouring that into his guys, saying, hey, let's play with confidence. Let's go out there and really compete, and that's what his team has done. And you see there, Muhtar Dahl able to tie up Burries there, and so no backing down from the Golden Eagles right now.
There's Burries, gets into the lane, and that tie-up right there. You mentioned a couple of new guys in the game for Arizona. You got Bradley back in the point guard position. Koa Pete, the sensational freshman, and then Ivan Karchinkov. I think this guy's going to be a really interesting player, off to a nice start against St. Mary's 9 days ago.
Yeah, Ivan Karchinkov, he's talented.
And imagine him this year playing against 4s as opposed to 5. They had Trey Townsend last year. Just look how much bigger Waka is as Burries gets hitting that 3. Trying to get in the lane. Burries, you mentioned the pace, never in a hurry. Oh my goodness, got up. I haven't seen him get up that high. Dahl dominating this last couple minutes.
He's on fire. 3 buckets on the last 3 possessions. Arizona late on that weak side rotation, freeing up the front of the rim.
Burries again, easy for him to get to the rim. There's that dunk that Dahl has been cooking right now.
Right, the dunk will get you going, and you see they got a little rhythm. He's feeling good about his thing. They're able to get to the front. Excellent job. I'm sure Tommy Lloyd's not going to be happy with that weak side defense. Just too far off, allowing too much room.
I think that was Isaiah Long with the assist, number 11. He's does such a great job for them. You look at the last game, he played 10 assists, no turnovers. Terrific point guard, finding Dahl again, and that 1-2 punch is going to be big for Embry-Riddle this year.
It really will be, and what he's the rock of their team. He was 8th in assists last year in conference, and somebody who's a facilitator hooking people up, and he needs to continue to do that.
Well, a little buzz in the arena as Bryce James checks in. His first time in a first half this year. Had a nice, better than it was at times. Good coaching. So Waka, just hard to push him around. He's got to throw that out. Canlon again trying to get it.
He is electrifying in terms of creating a culture where people, players want to come in and be a part of this. He will hold your feet to the fire and hold you responsible, but at the same time, he wants us to play stable.
For them to get passes in their offense, but a good shot right there. It's Connor Ivey for the Eagles. Candlin again. Candlin's
the best player. If they're making all the right plays, it just makes sense, and then you'll kind of figure out the other things later. But it's been successful for them. They just both players need to remain aggressive.
Archinkov being aggressive on. Got to feel good to knock one down like that for the McHale crowd. You had a couple of those in your career.
Yeah, you want to show off those hops. Everybody can do that too.
Who had more hops than you your 4 years? Anybody?
I'm gonna say it was me.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Who's second?
Good question.
Burries inside.
Guys that came on later, Hassan Adams and
there you go.
Bayless, and
yep.
had a lot of high flyers in Wildcat uniforms.
Yeah, we saw Carter Bryant last night for the Spurs high flying. And a missed dunk. It was a spectacular highlight. Nice little job.